This is one of those times where I just feel like recording because of multiple reasons. Haven't recorded in a while, or yeah, it's been a while, and I also just felt like doing it. I think partially because of the first reason, but then also just because like sometimes I'm in a good mood, and whenever I'm in a good mood, I want to record, and recording puts me in a good mood. And I've kind of thought about this, or I've been thinking about it a little bit recently. It's like, what are the things that put me in a good mood? And a lot of the time, it's just recording puts me in a really good mood. I just get very, very happy. Um, Waking up early and getting stuff done in the morning, especially if I get like like I do all the habits that I'm supposed to do today, and like I meditation and going outside and gratitude journaling and just being out there in like the sun and nature, that puts me in a good mood. I I kind of want to find those triggers that get me into a good emotional state, because recently, and where is this video going, I don't know, but a little just life update, I guess, because you guys you guys are super interested in my life, so might as well just talk about it, because my life is just so interesting. But recently, for the past couple of days before this day, they were just kind of shitty days. You know how it goes. Some days just off. Like, I was in Hawaii for a vacation, right? And I was trying to make the most of it. Whatever, fell off the diet, the habits, the everything, and I got back home and I was still in that mode of like staying up late, not doing like everything was off, and I got mad at myself for it, and it makes me think about multiple different things, because I was listening to the Modern Wisdom podcast, the one with, I think it was like Matthew Hussey or whatever. I kind of I like how how they both think. I really like how Chris Williamson, like, he goes through things, like I go through things very similar. But when I was listening to that, it just got me thinking kind of about a little bit more about self-compassion, and how I don't really know if I have much self-compassion. I don't know where, like, because you're kind of defined by your childhood, or your kind of who you turn out to be is very heavily linked to what happened early on in your life, and how you were raised, all this, your ideals, your beliefs, everything is kind of or not, it's related. There's a very strong correlation between the two. Like, how you turn out is usually because of something that happened before. And I was just trying to think, like, what are my inner workings, my inner motives for, like, why I do all of this, and like why I am the way that I am. And I was just thinking about it, like, why am I this way? Like, why do I just I've become this person? And there's so many strange sort of self-aware things that you can do and realize, and you're like, maybe I am too over analytical of myself, but I think most people don't analyze themselves enough, or at all, like, for that matter, because some people just they go about their lives and they don't understand themselves and why they do things, and the certain tendencies they have, the things that they have ingrained in themselves since they were children. Most people don't think about that, because I don't think we're really taught to. Also, the fact is it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes to reveal the dark truths, and to analyze yourself and say, this is not right here, this needs to be worked on. And I was thinking about how interesting it is that I turned out this way, because was I always like this? Damn, bro, why is my neck kind of small? Gotta get those neck gains, you know what I mean? Alright, sorry. I'm getting distracted. But why am I the way that I am? Why am I so, like, driven? And why do I care so much about all this? And why, like, what was the motivation? Like, looking back at my childhood, maybe it just was the fact that I was watching YouTubers like Hamza and High School JT, and, whatever. all these content creators that I consumed a lot of content by. Like, is it because of them that I make these videos? I think big part of it is I was inspired by them. But like, why am I this hard? Like, why do I care so much about the success and like the ambition, and why do I want to succeed so badly, and why do I want to make it so badly? And there's all these different motivations, yes, but like deep down I want to look beyond the surface level. Oh, I want to be financially free. Oh, I just want to, like, there's easy answers to the question that aren't really that, like, they don't go deep. Like, who are you? It's a really good question to ask. Like, who are you? Do you even analyze yourself? Do you understand the inner workings of your mind? Because I don't fully understand myself. I have a pretty good understanding of who I am, who I want to be. Like, your identity is something that's, there's so much, like, there's so many layers to this, because it's hard to fully grasp it, because you have your own perception of everything. Like, you are looking through your own lens, your own paradigm of the world, your own model for how everything exists and interacts with each other, and that's not reality. But nobody understands reality because none of us are living it. We're all living our own version of what life is, of what reality is. And so even that in itself is a very interesting thing. But when you do analyze yourself, like, who am I? Why am I this way? Like, what from my childhood, like, what are the things that have shaped me to become this way? And like, when I look back, I'm like, why am I so driven? Why did I always care about school so much? Why my parents never put stress on me? Why did I always have like that sort of ambition, like I need to perform well and do well in the area that is important or I care about? Because going back to what I said earlier about how the paradigm that you look through is a version of reality that isn't reality. It's just your reality. So my reality at the time, a long time ago, was school is the most important thing. And I cared about it when it wasn't important. Literally in middle school, I was giving it my all, and that shit did not matter, right? I stopped caring when it got important. But it's very, very, like, interesting just the way things have shifted for me, because things are constantly still changing like this. Like, reality is still changing for me, and I still dig deeper. I I want to dig deeper into like who I am. And I think it's very important that you understand yourself. And I want to know, like, I want to have not just this idea that, oh yeah, setting goals is important, chasing, like, I know all these things already, and like these are all the common answers to why I am like ambitious, why I am the way I am. But when I think back to even my uh previous parts of my life, when I thought school was the most important thing and that I was just going to go to college, like all this regular path stuff. But why was I like that? Was it because of the people, like, influence from people around me, my parents? I don't know. They didn't push me very hard to be like some insane grade getter. Like, it is how I was. It's how I conditioned myself to be. But I don't really know why. Like, just was the way I was. Maybe that's just how it is. Maybe it's just a part of my personality. But I think it got so heavily enhanced when I started watching self-improvement content, because then I saw I could channel this and make it more and bigger and better. And everything is just like, I make videos now and I inspire other people and I talk super, like, very with a lot of like energy, and I speak in a way where it's like so different than when I look back. It's not the same. Like, the way I am is so very different, and obviously my identity, everything has changed. And that's kind of what when I think about all this, and when I think about why, so much is because I just conditioned myself and I formed my identity to be like that. But the inner workings of it, of exactly why I am the way I am, is not very understood by myself. And that's a whole random topic. And I know none of this makes sense at all, and nobody's watching this except the few of you that are still here. So if you're still here, love you, bro. You're real for that. You're cool for that. And, you're one of the real ones because no one else is seeing this here. Like, it's just you and me right now. We're having this little conversation that nobody else is really having except maybe a couple other people because, like, this is my most random fucking video I've ever made. But I don't care. I'm going to post it because I was listening to that Modern Wisdom podcast, and sometimes you just have to express your feelings because right now I feel like I understand myself. This is what I'm trying to get across. Like, I'm trying to get it across in an eloquent way, but I can't really. There's something inside of me, this feeling that I don't fully, I kind of get this, I have this general understanding of how I am and who I want to be, but I don't fully know it. Like, I don't fully know the subconscious. I don't fully understand the primitive, like, primal childhood part of my being that is influencing me today. And something else I also don't know is fully why I'm doing this and why I should be doing this. Like, why I make YouTube videos, why I know it's my purpose, but why is that? It's just because I know that I want to help people, and I know that people need help, and that teenagers need help, and that young men need help, and like everything is kind of, everything's kind of fucked. We need help. And that's the reason that I do it, right? That's what I tell myself. And there's other reasons as well, like money and financial freedom, all this stuff. But like, what is that real, like, underlying, like, is there some feeling of like inadequacy? Like, I don't think so. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to discover. Is there like a deeper reason to all of this? Or maybe this is my purpose because I don't really have much trauma, but then again, it's like, maybe there are formative things that have shaped me and things that people have said to me that I believe to be the way the world is, but that's not exactly true. It's just so, like, to think about this is kind of crazy that there's a lot of influence. Wait, hold up. I just keep, like, why does my neck look so small, bro? I gotta get a thick neck so I look big. But the influence of all, like, your childhood, like, all, like, trauma, all these kind of different things that happen, or just incidents and, people in my life that have passed away. It's interesting how things happen and how they shape your reality and shape who you are, your identity. Oh, sorry. So what I'm trying to say, and as I ramble on, repeat the same things over and over, and as I already kind of stated this before, what I don't want, actually, this is something new. 1 second. The whole point of this is this feeling that I'm going in this direction super hard, super sacrifice everything, and that I'm doing it as this, like, it's like a parasite. It's like a disease. It's not like I have something to prove or that I need to play this game in order to feel like I am enough. What I don't want is to get there, to, like, keep pushing and grinding. This is what the feeling is. And the thing is, I don't understand it. I don't know how to analyze it. This is kind of what I'm getting at, like, in the back of my mind a little bit. It's not bothering me too much, but it's something that it nags at me a bit. Or I've been aware of it, like, for a bit. And the Modern Wisdom, that episode, kind of, it spoke to me a little bit. Because I don't know. Like, if I continue on this path, and I just keep grinding, like, nose to the grindstone, like, no feeling, am I gonna be, because it's seen as, like, like, not masculine, not like, I don't think it's really accepted, like, the self-compassion, like, taking breaks. Even it's all like, no, fuck no, like, nose to the grindstone, work your ass off, and you'll get there, and it's not worth it to ever take breaks or be comfortable, like, or to relax or anything, and, like, I don't allow myself that, really. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's actually as good as I think it is. And I know it helps you make more progress. And I tell myself you have to be this way if you want to make it. And there's a truth to that. But there's also something to the self-compassion, relaxation, celebration, like actually accepting yourself and taking care of yourself fully and not just grind, grind, grind. Because grind, grind, grind is good, but that's not fully taking care of yourself sometimes. It's a weird balance, weird balance that's almost impossible to find. I feel I don't think anyone really knows, or there are some people that have found an ability to do it and just be happy and be balanced and be, they work super hard and they have ambitions and everything great, amazing, and they're achieving stuff, but they're also they take the time to relax and celebrate, and they have an amazing relationship with their family. They're happy, they're at peace. Like this is like the balance, and you have to know how to balance all this, like the peace, gratitude, serotonin side of life with the chase goals, ambition side of life. You need both, but I think sometimes I get too much on the ambition side, and I don't know. The questions that I have is why is that, and why am I the way I am? Why do I just care so much about this? Is it because of how I conditioned myself in the past couple of years? I think that's a big part of it, but is it also because of how I just am as a person in my childhood? Maybe. And I have to think about that, and I don't really know. And like I was saying, the big thing, the big feeling is because I hear all these people say it, and I keep thinking to myself, it's literally what he said in the podcast is that you think it doesn't apply to you. You'll hear everyone say over and over and over and over that when you're chasing the success and getting it is not gonna make you feel different. It's not gonna make you love yourself or accept yourself or any of that. And like the self work is the thing that everyone misses. The mental health self work, like love, kindness, gratitude, mindfulness, like the acceptance of yourself, and like not going full like grind mode and like nose to the grindstone. It's partially about, well, it's the balance between that and you actually being, how do I say, like it's that, and also you having that peace and that mental stability and the security. Because the question is, am I thinking, oh no, when I make it I'm different because I have nothing to, like I'm gonna be different when I make it because I'm not gonna actually feel that way. I'm not gonna feel inadequate. I'm gonna feel amazing and confident all the time. Like, there's something to think about there. Like, is it, like, what is the place that this is coming from? And it needs to start coming from fully, I'm trying to help people, and that's what has been a big part of it for a long time. But I can see how I neglect a part of my life while I chase the success and the ambition and all of that, and how I neglect a part of my life that so many other people do, and I don't heed the warning even when I hear it so many times. And I think there are a select few people that are able to do both. Like they have the extreme ambition, but they also have their shit figured out. Like they have their mental health figured out. They're at peace in life. They're not like at a constant war. Their mind is like at peace, and they have positive self-talk, and I think I come from a place where most people, it's interesting because I wanted to make a video about this, but I don't know like how it's going to perform. And I hate that I think about that sometimes, that I think about, oh, I want to make this video, but it's probably not going to perform. It's stupid. Like there's a lot, and I'm trying to grow on YouTube, and it's this whole game, right? And I'm still figuring it out every second, every single day. I keep changing my mind, like, oh yeah, like views, and then no, I don't want to look at it, and then yeah, whatever. It's a bunch of bullcrap. Just kidding. I love doing it. It's a game that I decided to play, and it's a game that I love doing, that I love playing. Oh, what was I talking about before? But you don't want to get to that point where you've sort of made it in terms of success, but you did it because of sort of the wrong reasons, or you did it because deep down there was something that you felt like this inadequacy, and you told yourself, I'm on self-improvement, I'm building my business, I'm going to get to $1 million a month, and then I'll be satisfied and happy with myself. Maybe that's not exactly what you tell yourself, but that's kind of the internalized idea and feeling subconsciously, that maybe when you reach that point, maybe then you will be happy and you'll be okay and peace and at rest. But you need to work on both sides. And that's what I've been thinking about. Am I really working on both sides enough? And am I even a part of this group? And that's what he said. He literally said everyone hears this warning and they'll just say that doesn't apply to me. And I'm thinking right now that doesn't apply to me because everyone else has gone through so much shit and I haven't. And I know I probably will in the future. And no, I know I will. Everyone goes through tough times and hardships. But my life has always been easy. And like I was saying earlier, this is what I was talking about earlier that I'm going to pick back up on now. My life has always been easy. And I've wanted to make a video on this, but I don't know like how many people can relate. Like my life has been easy and comfortable my entire life. I live in the suburbs of California. I grew up going to good schools. I didn't get abused. I didn't get nothing. My money has never been a problem. Like everything has been good in my life. Grandparents, parents there, everything. Dad, brothers, sisters, amazing, great relationships. Just, good friendships, everything. My life has always been easy. But I am this way where I work so hard because I know that this isn't like this comfort isn't exactly like it's not my life's goal. It's not my purpose. It's not the thing that matters. And I think it comes from a place, for the most part, of me trying to help people. And if I want, and that's what I'm getting at right now. I want to dig into that. That's what I want to dig into. I really do. Like that, like just digging into actually helping people, like the purpose. Just digging into purpose as much as possible because that's what's fulfilling in the end. None of it else really matters compared to that. When you think about it. Like why would the success and the money and yeah, whatever, fine, good, great, financially free. Who cares? Who cares if I didn't, if I got all that and I didn't love it? It doesn't matter. If I didn't love it and it wasn't fulfilling to me and none of it mattered then. Becoming financially free. It's all bullshit because I didn't actually enjoy the process of it and I didn't do it for the right reasons. Like doing it for the reason of helping people and actually making a difference in the world is something so much bigger than us. And it's a more spiritual, more fulfilling, actual, it's not coming from a place of inadequacy. It's not coming from a place of I'm not good enough, of when I get there, maybe one day I'll love myself. It's I'm doing this every single day and I wake up and I grind not because I feel inadequate. I grind because I know that it's worth it and I know that other people are going to benefit because of what I am doing. I am making a difference in the world. And that is what I want to focus on. Just the purpose, being purposeful, a purposeful YouTuber, a purposeful creator, a purposeful person every single day, living with purpose and mission and drive and knowing what I want and going and getting it. Because I do all these things for a reason and I improve myself constantly for a reason. There's a purpose behind it. And it's all so that I can keep learning and keep getting better and live the best life for myself and be able to share that all online and help so many young men, so many young teenagers. I get to improve my life so that others can improve as well. What a fucking, amazing life, bro. I can't ask for better. Can't ask for better than that. And my life is I can't ask for better because my life is already amazing. And it's always been good. It's always been easy. And so I don't really have that trauma I feel like that other people have, that most people do have, that have my mindset. Because in order to have my mindset, sometimes it's a blessing and a curse to have an easy life, and it's a blessing and a curse to have a hard life, because hardships and suffering is what makes a person. It's the fire that forges a person. And sometimes it breaks people, but most of the time, when you push through difficulty, because a lot of people do push through difficulty, they come out way stronger, different mindset, and that changes you forever. And sometimes that trauma does lead you into this feeling of inadequacy, this I want to improve myself so much and just go all in on business and everything because I just want to forget about my trauma. I want to outgrow it. I want to one day love myself. I've been hating myself my entire life. I've always been fat, some feeling of inadequacy. because my life has always been good and always been easy, but I know it's not true for other people. I haven't really gone through hardships, health problems, like really anything. I can name a few things, like people in my life that have passed away when I was younger. I have a knee problem. I have knee problems. Osgood Schlatters, if you know about that, like it's really not that much of a big deal. Like I don't care. My life has not been very difficult. And when I hear that advice of, one day it's gonna be like when you reach the success and when you keep chasing so much and when you chase like the YouTube and the business, you keep grinding, and that's all what it's about. Like there's a point that you get to where you realize you should have maybe done more work on yourself. On understanding yourself. You should have been more introspective and really took the time to relax and took the time to celebrate and took the time to not really those two things in particular, but I think take more time to understand yourself and to be a bit more like spiritual and to be a bit more in touch with feelings and what you feel and why you feel that and why that even happened in the first place. Like where does that come from? Being more understanding yourself is such a big thing that I think a lot of people don't do. What all of this video is about is basically understanding yourself. It's about like why you should do things and why you should be on self-improvement, why you should be doing this, because I made a video a long time ago and I thought about it earlier. And I think it's like the most underrated video on my channel. It's the nature talk. It's like one of the least viewed videos on my channel, I think. Or not now, because some of my other videos on the main channel are just pooping. Like, they're, like, getting nothing. But that's besides the point. I need to just focus on making quality content and helping people. Like, then when you do that, and when you apply maybe some of the right tactics along the way, it goes amazing. And, there's so much you can focus on to, like, all the little things of how you can do better at this, but, like, at the end of the day, the big thing is purpose. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you right now. It's do things in a purposeful way and understand yourself. Understand why you do things, why you are the way you are. Look into your past, uncover the dark memories. You have to go through that shit. Because there's a reason you are the way you are. And you should understand yourself. You should understand who you are so that you can make better decisions and go forward in a way and work on yourself in a way where you can solve some of the problems that have come up again and again that formed when you were young, from your past, from trauma. And for me, I don't really have trauma, so I don't know. I don't know if this is really that big of a problem for me. I don't think it really is, but I know for a fact that despite not having an easy life, everyone should still understand themselves. And I still need to work so much more on understanding myself. That's like an area of improvement that I have not gotten into. I have this, actually, let me write it down. Introspection and self-understanding. So, when you understand yourself, you can make way better, more informed decisions. And you can make much better decisions because you know what you really want. You know why you react in certain ways. You understand your feelings. Like being more in touch with your feelings and all these things. And something I want to say as well, which I mentioned earlier, is that these are so like just pushed back against for some reason. Or it's just seen as like weak, like not masculine. And especially within the community that I'm in, it's like I think people are constantly trying to be the most masculine, the most like big, huge, ultra high T, amazing man ever. And it's like, dude, are you really that guy? Like, you're 16 years old like me. You don't have the highest testosterone. Like, try to be masculine. Yes, I made a video like a long time ago about how you shouldn't try to be masculine. I just saw shit on the internet, and that was so I could tell a whole story about that and how like impressionable I was, and like not really even understanding what masculinity is, what being a man means when you're young, and like looking online is not the best place to find it sometimes. With all the like red pill, like mass, like it's just, you can get into the weeds. But even with something like this, they might say, oh, like working on yourself and relaxation and this like more spiritual stuff and this, wait, what are you talking about? Like self. It's even for me, the way I've trained my mind, and I think in this self-improvement space, it's just not self-acceptance, but self-compassion is just, it's not accepted. It's like, oh, you made a mistake, well, fuck you, go fuck yourself. And actually, and like, it's what you tell yourself, and you just say, no, we need to work harder, we need to go harder, no to the grindstone, even more, we're going crazy, we're like grinding every single day. And that's the response. I think that's the response that so many people have to just negative emotions, negative feelings. They like suppress it. And this is a topic that many guys don't want to talk about. Honestly, many men don't want to deal with. And it's like, it's suppressed feelings, it's understanding emotions, it's all the shit that people will say that's pussy, that's sissy shit. Like, I'm not doing that, that's for women. Like, it's some crazy stuff. Like, guys won't like, they won't work on themselves in this area of life, of understanding yourself, understanding your emotions, understanding your past, why you do things, and being more self-compassionate, and like doing things for the right reasons is not because you feel you're inadequate and you need to be better. Like, it's not that you need to be better, it's that you want to be better. And I made that video a long time ago, where Nature Talk 1, about self-love. And I never made a nature talk after that again, except, I mean, there's some videos I have that are in nature. But in that video, I talk about how you can't do self-improvement isn't about you hating yourself and thinking, I'm going to get to this level, and when I get there, I might be happy and I might love myself. Treating yourself, self-improvement is about actually trying to get the most out of your life. And trying to become better because you want to. Because you desire that. You have that fire, that like energy for life. And when you don't have that energy, and when you don't have the correct energy, is what I'm trying to say, when it's a hatred, when it's not of I'm excited for life, I love life, I want to get going, I'm amazed, like I think highly of myself, I love myself, like, actually the feeling of loving yourself, whatever, like, it's mostly about just treating yourself correctly. Like, you are your responsibility to treat yourself correctly, and sometimes that means you have to take a step back and understand your emotions and look deeper into yourself and say, and analyze yourself and be like, why do I react like this? Why do I say these things? Why do I like get mad at myself? And why do I beat myself up and say, you fucking idiot, why'd you do that? You should just work harder and you shouldn't make mistakes. Like, why does my mind work like that? The more you're able to understand that, the more you are working on yourself, and that's what self-improvement is about, right? And you need to find balance in these areas of life to like, you need to work on all these different areas. It's not just one area of grind, work, right? Work is a huge area of your life, career, all that, but you have to also have that like ability to have self-compassion. It's the gratitude, it's the mindfulness, the unsexy things, because that's what life is all about as well. And that's so worth it to work on, because your life quality just gets so much better. You become more at peace, more happy. You must just take the time to understand yourself, and like I said before, it's so, I feel like, unaccepted, especially by men, especially in this community, in this space where men don't want to appear like weak, or like, no, that's not for me. Like, I don't have, like, they don't want to give themselves compassion. They don't want to give themselves second chances. It's all, I'm so hard on myself. Like, there's a certain point where you realize that's all good to an extent, but like, it becomes too much when it's all like self-defensive, and it's all, you hate yourself, and it's all like the emotions that become familiar to you because you repress everything else. Like, everything else, you don't try to understand what you're feeling. And what happens is you end up in this constant state of hatred and self-loathing and I need to work harder. I'm not good enough. I need to be better. And I think that's as we end here, that's the topic I'm going to end on is inadequacy, the feeling of inadequacy. These are topics that I wish to talk about, especially on the main channel, but it's hard when I don't have I can't articulate this in the way in an eloquent, succinct way. Like, it just, you see this video is super long. If you're still here, like, damn. But this video is just me rambling, and that's how I need to make these type of videos, because there's so many connections and little things I make that I wouldn't be able to do in a regular video when I'm trying to be like all Mr. Just being very direct, succinct, very like I'm trying to say things in a certain way and articulate in a certain way. And this one, it's more just me rambling and ending on that point of, because I've thought about this a bit before, and no, I've thought about this a lot, the feeling of inadequacy, and I don't know why I felt that way, and I still sometimes do. And my friend, he said he struggled with that as well, and it's something that I think that happens on self-improvement, because you start because you feel like you need to be better, and that like you aren't good enough, and you compare, and sometimes those things can be kind of good motivators. But at a certain point, when you just keep telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you kind of hate yourself, it's super unhealthy, and you feel like shit. You're like, why am I this way? And you break down, and all the emotions come out sometimes, and you just start fucking crying, and it's not good, right? It's very unhealthy. This feeling of I'm not good enough, I need to be better. It needs to become, I care so much about myself, and I want the best life for myself, that I am willing to grind and do what it takes and work on all these different things and be on self-improvement, is because that is my desire and that fire inside me. And I love life so much, and I love myself, and all of these things, like self, like love, whatever. It's not the easiest thing in the world to just be like, oh yeah, I love myself. But I know that you want the best for yourself, and that's what you have to focus on. I want the best for myself. That's why I'm doing this. It's not because I hate myself, and it's not because I'm not good enough. It's because I know that I need to do what's best for me, and I want to live the best life possible. That's why I'm doing this. And I think when you do it from that standpoint of, I'm trying to live the best life, my best life possible, and that's why I'm working so hard, and that's why I do all these things. And I feel that it's purposeful, and I want to help people, and doing it from these places of like a more spiritual, a more accepting, and like doing it for yourself, not because you hate yourself. Doing it because you want the best for yourself, and because it's your responsibility to make the best for your person, for your human. I love the way that in that video, in that podcast, Matthew Hussey said it, where it's like, it's your responsibility, it's your person. That's what loving yourself is, because a parent doesn't love a child because of what they do. It's theirs. Their child is theirs. You are yours. You are your human. It is your responsibility to take care of yourself and to do what's best for you and to live the best life possible, your best life possible. And that should come from a place of not inadequacy, that you aren't enough. It's a place of, it's my responsibility, and it's what I should do, and it's what I want to do. And I want to get better. And so I covered a whole lot of different topics in this video, but I hope you came out of it with something if you're all the way here. And again, I said it before, if you were here then and you're still here, you are the realest of the real. You are the realest one, for being almost to this 40-minute mark. And it's a lot of rambling that I just went on, but these are really good for me, and I hope they can help you. It's very like healthy for me to it's like therapeutic, because I think maybe therapy it could be cool, who knows? But maybe we'll try that eventually in the future, whatever, that's a different topic. I'm rambling. Anyways, never stop improving. You'll be grateful for it later.